Hey, what's up, y'all? Jason Dulay coming at you for AshleyXShyday.blogspot.com. And I'm here to share my story of the Space Jams. Everybody knows Space Jams, the retros, was the most hyped up shoe of '09. And I'm going to tell you my ridiculous story of how I acquired them, alright? So, you know, I have a hookup at Finish Line, and usually a couple weeks before release date or same week of release date, I was give my contact a call and make sure he could hold my pairs. The Space Jams are different. If you call around everywhere, nobody will hold a pair because they're just you can't touch them because they're the most anticipated shoe sneaker release of the year. So I call up my hook. And I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Can you hold my sizes? And I actually needed like 4 sizes. I needed a 9.5, 5.5, 2.5, and a baby size. You know, for him to hold. And he's like, all right, I got him. I'll text you or give you a call, if I could do it. So I'm like, okay, if. So who knows? It might possibly be not. And my hookup, he's pretty solid. I usually hear from him within the hour, same day at the most, So like a couple days go by and I'm like, fuck, I didn't hear from my dude. Let me give him a call. So I give him a call. He sounds like crazy fucking busy. Like, hey, what's up, man? I'm like, what's up? He's like, what's up? And I was like, oh, I'm just checking on, them shoes to see what's up. And he's like, dude, I told you I'll give you a call or text you if I could do it. And I was like, all right, for sure. Hang up. After that call, I thought my bridge was completely burnt. Like, fuck, I annoyed him. I should have just gave him space, whatever. Hella shit going through my mind. I was like, damn, now I just got to get him the old school way. And for some reason, I just felt like it was going to be hectic. So, like, prior to that day, I started researching, get a couple numbers, like, of the boony-ass places, Antioch, San Rafael, Monterey, Gilroy, fucking hella boony-ass, Salinas, boony places. So, fucking, come that Tuesday, because they released on a Wednesday, come that Tuesday, after I get off work, me and my girl, we drive around the mall, like, around, like, 6, 7 o'clock, and there's already, like 3, 4 people starting to camp out. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's kind of weird. And they're camping out at like 2 different locations, 2 different spots. One for Finish Line, one for Foot Locker. So I was like, all right, let's just come back around like 8 or 9. So we come back, and there's probably like 7 to 10 people camping out. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? It's only like 8 o'clock at night. They're going to be out here for the whole night. People are serious about this. So I was like, all right, thinking of like a backup plan. I'm like, what we gotta do is I gotta find a way to sneak in the mall through an employee entrance because of course, common sense tells you the employees gotta get in the mall before everybody else does. So we all scoped the mall, find some locations to sneak in, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna come back at midnight. Ashley was already sleeping, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go back at midnight because I live right by the mall and see how the lines look. Go back to the mall, there's probably at least like 15, 20 people camped out at both entrances. So I'm like, fuck. I'm not camping out, so I'm just gonna have to come back. My plan was come back at like 3:30, sneak in the mall. If can't do that, then I'm just gonna wait. A couple hours ain't shit. So go to sleep, come back, or go to sleep, wake up 3:30, get dressed, go to the mall. And bam, there's still like 20-something people outside the fucking mall, both entrances. I'm like, fuck, alright. We start driving around the mall, and we see a couple employees go through this one entrance. I'm like, alright, that's the entrance. That's the entrance I'm gonna go through. So, I go through that entrance, the mall is completely dead. I go to Foot Locker, I'm sitting up in front, there's already chairs, like people were sitting there and got kicked out. So, I was like, alright, most likely I'm gonna get kicked out. So, I was sitting there for at least like 30 minutes. Then Filipino Paul Blart security guard comes on his little rolling thing and kicks me out. So I gotta go wait in the cold. And I was gonna go wait for Foot Locker because they open at 6 and Finish Line opens at 6:30. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll go wait at Foot Locker. So I'm waiting, and like come like the mall opens at 6. Well, the store. So come like 5:50, something like that. Everybody starts gathering around the front of the door because they see some people walking to Foot Locker, right? So instantly people start kind of drifting looking for like a door, like an employee door or something. And me, I know which door is open because I went through it myself. So I start running. I'm running as fast as I can. And there's people that were behind me in line. They're like, all right, this nigga's running. He must know what the fuck he's doing. So they start following me. And I'm just running, hella fast. Open up the door. There's like 10 people in back of me running too. And we all running. And I'm yelling like, Space Jam, Space Jams. Running through the hallways in the mall and shit. And then we finally get to Foot Locker, and I'm like third, fourth in line, you know? So I'm like, cool, I'm getting my size. 6 o'clock comes. You could hear everybody run through the mall because they just opened the doors for everybody who was waiting up outside, right? And the people in the front of the line were hell mad. Like, fuck that, I've been waiting here since 8 o'clock, da da da. So whatever, you know, we all let them cut. It was only like 3 people. But then as soon as they started opening the doors, the people who work at Foot Locker, they start handing out, you know, the sizes and shit. And the first thing the manager said was, no 9.5. And everybody's like, what the fuck, you know? Like, no 9.5. The employees must have took all the 9.5. So, whatever. I was like, fuck this place. I'm going to Finish Line. Finish Line don't open for another 30 minutes. So I go over there, and they already let everybody in there. And that line was already like 20, 30 people long. And I'm like, fuck. Dude, what the fuck, man? You know, I ain't gonna get my shit. But then the employees got there to Finish Line, and they moved the line to the other side. So I ran as quick as I can to the other side, and my spot improved. I was probably like number 11 or something. So they started letting people in, getting their shoes one at a time. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get my size. You know, I had to be like number 6 or something. And then the employee yells out, no 10s, no 10s. And I'm like, all right. Fuck, well, they still got my 9.5. Next person goes, no 9.5, no 9.5. Now I'm like, fuck, what the fuck? I guess I'll just get a 9 and squeeze into that, you know, or trade it or something. And then like 2 more people go by, and I'm like number 3. And then he's like, no 9s, no 9s. And I'm like, fuck, what the fuck? I look at my watch, and it's like 7:10. I should have been to work already. So I was like, you know what, fuck this. I ain't getting no Space Jams right now. So I go to work. I'm like 30 minutes late. I get written up. And I'm fucking heated because I didn't get no Space Jams. So the whole day, I'm just like researching all these places, you know, to get them. And fucking, as soon as I get off work, I start calling everywhere. Sold out. Nope, sold out everywhere. Down to the baby sizes. It was ridiculous. Like, that shit was even on the news. Like, how crazy the Space Jam hype was, you know? And then I'm like, fuck, I ain't gonna get them. Me and my girl were stressing. Like, fuck, we ain't getting our shoes, you know? And then finally, around like 7 o'clock at night, I get a text message. And it says, when are you gonna come pick up your shoes? And I was like, what the fuck? It was my hookup, my partner. And you know, and of course I tell my girl because I'm hella happy. And then I call my partner, and I'm like, bro. And I tell him the story of me waiting, me fucking getting written up at work, all this shit. You know, and the whole time, he's been holding my sizes. Ain't that some shit? He been holding all 4 of my sizes. After everybody been camping out, lining up, stressing over this release, he's had my sizes the whole entire time. So, moral of the story is, hype kills, and patience is a virtue. Signing out, Ashley X Sade, blogspot.com. I love you. I like.